Hello, hello, hello. We are live. It is me, Joy, and Demisio.
Hi
How you doing?
guys.
Today we're going to recap Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season. Oh, I messed that up because it's showing season 3. It's season, I think, 13, episode 12. I need to change there. Um, and the name of this episode was Bitter Pill to Swallow. But that should be season 13. I just noticed there. All right, let's get into it. I don't think we have a chapstick moment of the day, do we? Since Monday.
No, mm-mm.
Nothing
Not
exciting
that I
has
can
happened.
think of.
I can't
Not
really
that I can
think of
think
it
of. No.
other than your girl Candace tweeting, which has been ridiculous. And
Child,
her
I ain't even
being
paying it. I
quoted.
don't even be paying attention to that stuff.
I don't follow
Probably
her.
because I be on Instagram majority of the time, keeping up
Yeah,
with
I
like
don't. I
that.
only get it
So
from the Facebook groups. I only get it because of what's in the Facebook groups. So, all
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then I don't
right,
even check those like that.
you know.
No, because they're
Um.
annoying. They be trying to argue with you. It's like I get a good debate, but it's like if you don't agree with them, it's like World War III. And it's like I don't have to agree with you. We're not gonna agree with each other, and that's fine. But I'm not finna like I don't know. I just feel like now that I'm older, I guess, which I ain't that
Mhm,
old, but I guess like from when I actually joined those groups, which is when I was like 17, 18, I used to be
mhm.
in there going, edit. I just don't have the energy to do that now.
I don't. I can do it until you start name calling and stuff. When you start, because
Yeah,
it's
it's
not that
ridiculous.
serious to me. Like I can
Yeah,
debate with somebody all day long, but once it turns personal, that's just
right,
stupid to me. You know, even little comments like "you can't comprehend." I'm like, I comprehend very well. Do you?
right.
Like, it's unnecessary. Like we just don't agree, and that's fine. And anytime I come across somebody like that, where it's like bad, I usually stop just communicating altogether. And it's been a couple of people who kind of follow me from one place to another. That irritates me
Yeah,
because
that's another
I,
thing that I hate
yeah,
too.
once you disagree, they figure out your name and then start coming at you at various places. That's stupid, in
Yeah.
other groups and other questions. Like I block them. I mean, I could immediately.
Yeah, I think the last time I was in the group, heavy, and then we can start after this, was when Candace and Monique was like at a peak. Like when they was
Oh,
like, that was
season
like the last
5.
time I was
Mhm.
like in the group, like in the groups, like very heavy. Like that was the last time. And then I think I went to college at that point and stuff. Like I ended up going to college and stuff. So my mind got took away from that anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. I just thought it was interesting that a lot of people were talking about she was quoted saying they trying to ice her out. And I'm sitting up here thinking like she don't see that her mouth is doing it, because if Candace could stay calm and have a conversation, I think both Robin and Giselle would have a conversation. They
I don't
don't
even think
want.
they trying to ice her out. I don't even think that's even like. I don't even think they. I don't even think any like. I don't even know where she's getting that from.
Karen, because
But it
Karen
doesn't seem
started
like they're trying to ice her out. It just seems like they just don't want to talk to her.
that.
I don't
Well,
think
that's what Karen is calling icing out.
it's
And
not
I
icing
get
out.
it.
Icing out is when the entire group is trying. Karen needs to learn the definition of ice out. Because if
And
you're
it
still
was like
talking to her,
there's no effort to I think what we saw on Married to Medicine was an icing out.
I exactly. I
Yeah, where
100%
there was,
agree. Candace is still friends with everybody except them two.
yeah.
That's
So
not an
I
ice out, honey.
I
Because
agree.
even her and Ashley are, they don't necessarily just be getting along, but they on
Right.
one. They,
They can talk. They talk.
yeah,
They talk. Yeah. And that's what, and I said there's no effort for them to turn her against, to turn, you know, their opinion against Candace. Like you haven't
Right.
seen it because it's just like I think it was who was that? That was I think it was Giselle that was on Watch What's Happening Live. She even said, "I don't care about her being friends." I mean, Ashley's still friends with Monique. She don't care about stuff like that. That ain't really her personality. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and get into Beverly Hills. What would you rate this episode?
I would give it like an 8.5.
Okay.
Like I said, I enjoyed the episode. Me personally, I feel like the ending definitely is what made it good. Like, and then just like the little shade throughout it, like like when Crystal was on the phone with Garcelle, when Sutton and when Kyle went to Sutton's house. Like, I just felt like it was just like a good episode. Like, Kyle went there, opened the refrigerator, like, oh, there's no food. Like, it
Right.
was like, it was okay. It wasn't
Yeah.
all that, but like I said, the ending kind of like made it.
Yeah. It wasn't good to me at all. I gave it like a 5 or 6. I thought it was going to be far more explosive between those two because I did hear that Crystal and Annemarie were fighting. That was one of the things that we had heard, you know, a year ago. Something else I've noticed: Kyle do not like Domicio. I mean, what's his name?
Mauricio.
Yeah, Mauricio. That I did want to mention. She's irritated by him.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, she's irritated by him,
It is
and
over.
she ain't. She's not even hiding it. She's not playing nice. Like, yeah, and I mean, it could have been like that a whole time, and the cameras just didn't show that because at the beginning it was.
No, wait, when you talking about like past seasons?
Well, yeah, they pick and choose what they want to show us when they're creating the story. It's just like at the you remember at the first episode, it was like the first or second episode, it seemed different. Like they were almost showing us kind of behind the scenes, the so-called, what is it, the fifth wall or the fourth wall or one of them
Mm-hmm.
walls. Like they kept, you would see the producers or the cameras moving around. They don't normally show us that. And at the beginning of the season, I remember thinking, oh, they're creating a story. That happens a lot. That, they decide to run with a story, so they're going to show the imperfections. They're going to show the awkwardness. They're going to show us something that they traditionally don't show us because it doesn't fit a narrative. And I
Right.
do believe they do that a lot in reality TV.
Yeah.
So I just think that now that it fits a narrative to show their imperfections, they're doing it. But it could have been like that. She could have been like, I'll never remember her rolling her eyes behind her husband. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they
They're
always. Yeah,
showing
this
that
is the
kind of
first year
stuff.
where it's blatantly shown. Like
Correct.
other seasons, they seemed like they still loved each other at least a little bit.
Right. Right. That's all I'm saying. Is that they're willing to show us those little flaws that they wouldn't have shown us before to kind of stack on to a narrative that they're creating. That Kyle
Mm-hmm.
is tired.
Yeah,
So, all right, with that, we can move on. And do you want to talk about each segment, or are we gonna
we
just get
can.
to the nitty gritty? Wait a minute, before
Uh,
we get to the nitty gritty, was there any other segment that we want to talk about? Because Crystal had a personal segment with her brother. Um, they went over, Kyle went over Sutton's house, looked in her refrigerator. Do we want to talk
mm,
about any of those personal segments before we jump into the, is it toothless,
I
not
mean, I
homeless?
guess you okay. I guess you can. As far as like okay, Kristen, her brother goes. I mean, from what it looked like to me, it's like you are kind of like the blame for his relationships ending.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it seems like to me. And even though he said he's not leaving because of y'all, it definitely seems like he's leaving because of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it kind of gave. Like, yeah, I'm going away because y'all are kind of like overly involved in my life
Right.
in so many words.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, as far as Kyle and Sutton goes, I mean, I still don't feel like Kyle is Sutton's friend, and I wish she just would accept that,
Mhm.
because Kyle
I
doesn't like Sutton.
wonder when they were coming into the red carpet, the only thing I specifically that kind of stood out to me was watching Annemarie and her husband. Her husband being a professional football player, she's always been like his sidekick. I don't want to say sidekick, that's not appropriate. How about I guess whenever you're dealing with somebody that's famous and you're not,
Mm-hmm.
you you're you're kind of pushed to the I ain't gonna say pushed to the side, but people want to photograph your
The
husband, not
famous
you.
person, yeah.
Correct. So I wonder I wonder I wish they would show a little bit of that like in real time. Like how does he feel about that? Because they
About
did
her
a
being on the show now, in the little
yes, and
spotlight.
correct. Like I never heard of this guy before. But LA may know him well.
Right. I will say this though. This has nothing to do with the charity event. I will say this. I do. I mean, which I talked about this on on another platform, and he kind of explained it. And it does make sense because I had asked. I was like, it's very confusing to me that now we're kind of getting like overload crystal personal scenes.
Mm,
Have you noticed that within like the last few episodes, it's like we're getting like overload of her personal scenes versus like everybody was kind of having a lot of personal stories in like the first 5 or 6 episodes. Like
mm,
everybody was having like it wasn't a lot of drama, it was drama, but they were giving them a lot of their personal stuff, giving us stories outside of drama within the girls.
I
And I
got
just
you.
thought it odd that they're cramming this stuff with Crystal at the end. And one of the guys on the panel was like, the reason why he thinks that happened is because, and even with Annemarie getting cut time on the show, because we really ain't just seen her like that, and she's a diamond
Hmm.
holder, is because I feel like he said he felt like when this as the season progressed, more and more stuff started coming out about her husband, and he felt like they had every intention on replacing Crystal with Annemarie, and then all the stuff about him being transphobic and the lawsuits about him allegedly raping somebody back in I don't know how
Groping.
long. It's not
Hmm.
new, but
Hmm.
all of that stuff, the lawsuits and stuff. He said he feel like that's kind of why that's like happening the way it is. And then I guess Crystal finally showing up to work.
Oh, because that could be that she wasn't showing up. I don't think they do Crystal a whole lot. Or that I can't remember. She talks about her brother a lot.
Yeah,
That's for sure. Because this is like at least the second scene of that she's led, and they're talking about her. Crystal doesn't speak up. She's a Karen. She's a confessional queen. I mean a confessional. She sits in her confessionals and says what she really should say in real time.
yeah,
I don't
yeah. Crystal's I like Crystal is not really gonna say anything unless you come directly at Crystal. Like
mm,
you have to like literally call, like I guess if you want to say call her out, or like I said, directly like direct your animosity or line of questioning or whatever it is. You have to like direct it specifically at her for
to
her to
her.
have something to say. Like she's just not. I mean, she will jump in and say stuff every now and then, but like I said, for her to just really get in there, you have to really basically. I don't know. And as far as her thing with Anne Marie goes, I feel like this was already like a brewing thing because she didn't
Wait a
hesitate.
minute before we get there, because that's gonna be the bulk of the conversation. Are we finished with the other stuff before we get
Yeah,
jump
because like I said, it really wasn't anything. I just
in? Okay.
noticed that they was
Okay.
that production. It was just very weird to me that production was like cramming us with a lot of her personal scenes towards the end.
Yeah. And they're not interesting neither. I mean, no disrespect. They're not very
Yeah,
interesting. I would it's just not to me. I,
Yeah, me
I
neither,
actually
really.
I have no memory of the conversation other than her brother is there. I was like, her brother must be her life. That's all I could say. Think of is that her
Yeah,
brother must be her life. But that's okay. I mean, I'm not discounting her relationship or anything. It's just not interesting TV. Um, would you rather see Crystal if they had to pick somebody? Would you rather see Crystal or Annemarie come back?
Crystal,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. I'm not sure. I don't know enough
I mean, this
about
the
Anne Marie because at this point she's just doing Kyle's bidding.
yeah,
She's
it's
doing
just
what
like to
Kyle.
me personally, like you said, because that's all she has really shown to me. I would
Hmm.
much rather see Crystal because Crystal is very opinionated. I mean, when Crystal do get in there and fight, Crystal
Hmm.
is a good matchup. Like Crystal will fight. I gotta
I mean,
give
she
Crystal that.
will. She just my whole thing. I would just want her. I think Crystal would be top tier housewife if she said the things in confessionals that if she said those to those people, she would be the reader because Crystal, everything she says is on point. It's
Yeah,
not that she's not on point, it's that she's a coward.
I
Or
don't
let
think
me
necessarily. I wouldn't say
maybe not
coward.
a
Yeah,
coward may not be the best word, but that's how I see it. When you know
I say
you
hold back.
talking
She holds
Cal is
back.
talking about like how golden would the television have been when Kyle had mentioned when she was trying to insinuate that Sutton was a drunk and immediately they go to confessional. She was like, girl, you just stopped drinking 5 minutes ago. Like I would have had she said that
Yeah.
directly to Kyle. You know what I mean? Because
I
that's just
agree.
keeping it real. She has what it takes, obviously, to be
Hey,
top
Cheryl
tier.
Charleston.
But I just don't see it. Like you
Yeah.
cannot just do that in confessionals. That's the coward route. I mean, heck, I mean, come up with another word for coward, but it that's how it comes across to me. But I don't think she's a coward in general. I just don't think she really wants to have Wade, do cause any trouble. But you still do that when you do it in
Yeah,
confessionals.
because trust and believe, they don't, Kyle especially don't like her. So I can
Mm,
see Kyle bringing this up at the reunion. And Dorit
absolutely.
has already kind of been saying it throughout the season. Like, she always, like, when it, at the Taco Tuesday event, I don't know why Crystal's always coming and trying to stirring up trouble all of a sudden
Mhm.
now when she ain't had nothing to say. Like, they
Right.
already kind of been, saying it a little bit. So I could definitely see when the reunion comes. And then, like I said, her and Dorit already kind of disagree with her going back and telling Sutton what she said. And so, yeah,
Hmm.
she's gonna probably be one of the ones having a lot of
In a hot
arguments
seat.
at the reunion.
Who do you think, based off of what we've seen thus far, should sit besides Andy, besides Kyle? We know she's sitting by Andy.
I
Who's
feel
the other?
like Sutton and Kyle should be right there.
Oh, Sutton. Okay.
Yeah, because Sutton,
Is
for
Sutton
like
sitting next to Andy?
she's
When
never sat next to
Ericka was in
Andy.
the hot seat?
No, it was Kyle still.
You're kidding.
Yes, it was Ericka on one side and it was Kyle. It was Kyle,
Didn't
Garcelle,
remember. Okay.
Kyle, Garcelle, and Sutton on one couch. And I
He
think
made
no,
that
yeah, yeah,
whole season.
yeah,
Well, and why was Kyle there? I guess for the same. Kyle always sitting next to her. She shouldn't have been sat next to her that summer.
yeah. She
That
shouldn't
year.
have. Absolutely should not have.
So I wonder, has Kyle always? I bet you Kyle
No, it's been
always.
a time. It's been a time where she didn't sit first seat. If I'm not mistaken, I
Okay.
can't remember when specifically, but I think it
Who
has
has
been a
not
time.
always sat by Kyle? Besides, I heard Giselle usually does. I don't think she will this season on Potomac.
She
This might
shouldn't.
be her first season away from Andy.
Just like Kyle shouldn't, but I know he's gonna get. Well, Kyle has had a lot of the drama, so I will say, like I said, I do think that it should be her and Sutton for
Okay.
sure. It should be her and Sutton.
Has Teresa not ever sat by Andy? I don't think she has.
Yeah, she has before, if I'm not mistaken. She has.
When I wonder, was it her namaste years?
I can't remember when. I think it was the time she had the ponytail, that reunion, the
Okay.
long ponytail. I think she
Who
did
sat
like one.
next? Who sat next to Kyle? I mean Kyle. Andy.
I'll have to go and actually look at it, and
Okay.
then I'll be able to send it to you in our inbox. But I think she hasn't before,
Okay.
like one time.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely should be Sutton and Kyle. And actually, it needs to be Sutton, Garcelle, and Crystal on one couch, and then the rest
Mhm.
of them on the other couch.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely.
They would be a dynamic trio if they were together because all three of them are very opinionated.
Yeah, they are. I feel like Crystal is now seeing that. I feel like she is kind of more on that side. And like I said, Ericka is this is like her redemption season. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
Um, did you see Annemarie was walking up to the thing and they all were like, "Oh God," and some was like, "It's no need to be scared," and Crystal was like, "No one's scared of her." It's like Ericka is able to actually form friendships now that Rena is gone.
Yes, I agree that Rena she was the S starter.
Yes.
That's for sure. She was the what is the sugar honey iced tea
Mm-hmm.
starter. That was very clear. Do you think here's a question. This is the first season without Rena in quite a few. Do you think she's missed on this franchise?
I'm gonna just speak for me personally, and I think I probably can't speak for a lot of people, but I'm just gonna say for me personally, nope.
Okay.
Haven't thought about her. Haven't sat
I don't
down.
think about her until somebody pulls up like a picture of her or something. Like she's
Mm-hmm.
so thirsty, girl. I mean not girl, but she's so thirsty. She was naked a week or two ago on Instagram. Like
When
she's
is she not naked on Instagram? Her and Garcelle literally had like a whole little tizzy about that because Garcelle called her out about that her first season.
I mean, I'm talking about yeah. Oh, she always naked. I got you.
Yeah,
Well, we back to a homeless, not toothless
toothless.
event, and I don't care what nobody says. I've watched Beverly Hills from the beginning, New Jersey from the beginning, Atlanta from the beginning, Potomac from the beginning. I tried to watch Salt Lake, can't get through it. Anyway, I only said that to say that if I had to come up with the top 10, one of the funniest times on this franchise, it would be last season when they was talking about the
The
homeless not
homeless, not toothless. Yes,
because I laughed that I think it was 7 minutes. They said that was the funniest. It was so funny with
yes,
Kathy. I don't know. They
yeah,
are missing a comic relief in
they
here.
are.
That is true. They are missing a comic relief. And Kathy Hilton definitely provided that.
Yeah, she
It's
did.
it's when you're watching a show and it's just kind of sad, or you're mad. I need some funny
Some
emotion.
laughter a little
Yeah, I need
bit.
some laughter, and that this show is lacking it. Something else I read this week. I read that Dorit. People were saying that she was boring. And I was actually surprised.
Dorit is boring. I don't even see how
Okay.
Dorit has made it this far. Dorit could have left seasons ago. I don't. I literally have been saying that for the longest. I don't know how Dorit is still there, honey. Dorit could have left like after season 9.
Okay.
Because
I've
what has
heard.
Dorit really brung? Nothing. Dorit is not funny. Like the only thing she got is really the fashions. That's it. Like Dorit is boring. I really don't see how Dorit has made it this far. Like for real, honestly.
Okay. So, looking at the cast, they may be dropping somebody next year. If Demisio had that authority,
Mauricio.
no, I said
Oh,
Demisio.
okay. I thought you was
If
mixing Mauricio.
Demisio, you had that power, who would you drop?
By Dorit, by Annemarie,
I just said one. You to drop two. I want to
by
see.
Kyle.
I would like to see Anne Marie some more.
I don't, honey. She's just as foolish as she want to be and going. She just gonna down that hill of being loud and wrong. And that's why Dr. Nicole from Miami gathered her right on up, honey, on Watch What Happens
I
Live.
didn't watch it. I just because I didn't. I just watched this when you text me. I didn't get a chance to watch it last night. Um, um, I heard what Dr. Nicole said on Instagram. Was it Instagram or
Yes,
Twitter?
it was
Um,
Instagram.
right when they were first arguing about this a few weeks ago. And like I said, I think I've said this more than once. Um, hi Cheryl. Um, my mother has this condition. I forgot what it's called. I meant to have her text it to me. My mother has this condition, and she's had the surgery twice. I've mentioned, and she's thinking about doing it a third time. Surprisingly, my father had it. He only had to have his open once, and I'm talking about both bio mother and father.
Yeah,
And both of them lost. My mother especially lost a whole lot of weight because of it. My mama says um, food is something she has to think about while she's doing it. It takes the fun away from food. You can't talk and eat. You can't. You have to think while
yeah,
you're eating. And so she doesn't. She just lost a lot of weight. And when I say a lot of weight, like my mama is tiny. She ain't never been tiny. So I it's not fun. I've been places with her and it's not fun. It's actually it's sad. It's kind of jacked up. Like I had a brunch for my birthday. My birthday was January 1st, and she takes her food to go.
yeah,
And she just sat and drank coffee. So anyway, I guess that's it. They're going to Spain.
yeah.
They're going to Spain. I think they have some really nice trips. They have after
About like
show.
how what did you think about how Sutton kind of like came in guns blazing the way she did?
She should have. I mean, she was ready for the defense because everybody was telling her stuff.
Yeah,
Garcelle was
I
telling her,
I
so
honestly feel like if it wouldn't have been such an important event, she would have did it then.
yeah.
But
Oh
because it
yeah.
was yeah, it was about like suicide and all that. I feel like that because baby, she talked about that for almost 4 hours. They said two, but if you look at the timestamp, it started at 6, it ended almost 11. It ended at 10:51 to be exact. So
Mhm.
you was talking about that for a long time at this party
Yeah.
to different
And they
people.
said, I'm sure that's over exaggerated. They're cutting it up to make it seem like it. But they said Garcelle, she didn't even stop until Garcelle said, that girl lost her daddy to suicide. They had to tell her that for her to stop. Because you're absolutely right. She absolutely was gonna say that. I just think she looks stupid.
Yeah,
Because even if Sutton was describing it poorly, like who then tries to use their education it's just like me as a teacher. I teach special ed kids. Somebody has a child that has a diagnosis. I can tell you what I do in my classroom. I can tell you what's done in my building. I can tell you how things are supposed to go, but I'm not going to tell you what your child is diagnosed with and that you're wrong and that you're lying. Like
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yes, and then like I said on the lean that I love them so much. One of the co-hosts was like he felt like Crystal didn't have a right to jump into the argument. I'm like, yes, she did.
Yes, she did.
Yes, she absolutely
Because
did.
they're on the other end of these conversations.
And
It
then
would
she
be one
literally
thing
said that Crystal is the one that said she had the eating disorder. That's a lie.
that was insane. Either she really don't know, and then or she is a habitual liar. Like that was kind of crazy. First of all, Crystal, I don't think plays with that subject in general.
First of all, that's why it was like crazy to me. Like that's what Chris said. She was like, "Are you insane?"
Yeah. I wonder does she know that Crystal has an eating disorder? Like
Yeah,
she
she do.
oh
Chris
that
told her.
I was like, but she clearly said that she had an eating disorder. And then the last week when they did the playback, I know she gonna be like, I didn't realize it. Yeah, you did. Crystal don't even play like that. I don't think she plays like that. I mean, she even talked about to her husband that everybody's looking so thin. Remember, she said that to her husband. I don't think she plays in it with that arena. You know what I mean? It's just certain places generally people don't like to go, especially when it's something that they are dealing with or have dealt with.
Wait,
General,
what did you say her husband said?
nothing. She was just talking to her husband in general.
Oh
And
yeah. When they
she was
were
just at that table,
yeah,
remember?
when
And
he
then
was like she need to open her mouth more basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, she had mentioned before, being amongst his group, plus everybody's so thin. So, because only person she talking about is, I guess, Kyle and Ericka, right?
Yeah.
He lost a lot of weight. Yeah.
Garcelle been skinny. Garcelle ain't skinny at all. So
Well,
and Dorit been skinny too. So
well, Dorit has been skinny,
yeah.
and so has Sutton has been skinny. I don't think any of them have lost weight
Yeah.
like that.
Garcelle the only one they got really just some weight on her.
Yeah, and she ain't
Yeah.
fat.
Yeah, no, she's
She
not
ain't
big, but
skinny.
she ain't skinny at all
Yeah,
either. And
yeah.
then Maria's kind of like a little muscular, so she's not like thin either. Like she got
She
some,
toned though,
yeah. That's what
like
I'm saying. Like she kind of
yeah.
like, yeah.
You could tell she work out. Her arms are big. Her legs are
Mm-hmm.
big. Like, I mean, and when I say big, I'm talking toned and defined.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it in her face. The muscles are in her face.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when women
Yeah.
have more muscle than, I don't know if it's more muscle than body fat or what percentage it has to be, but you could tell when a woman works out. It's
Yeah.
usually in her
And I
face.
also feel like Annemarie knows in the back of her mind, like I didn't went too far with this, but she don't know how to come back down on it. Because even in her apology,
Mm-hmm.
she still doesn't want to admit like that she started all of this. Like Sutton said, in my part, like girl, it was only your part
Right.
at all. It wasn't
Literally.
like it was only you.
Yeah, it was only you.
So it's like, what are you talking about here? Like, I understand why Sutton was like kind of dry with her. Like, girl, you mean your part and your part only? Because I
Right.
didn't have a part in this. You were talking about me. And it's just, I love that, like I said, I love that Crystal was giving it to her, like, oh my God, you're such a bitch. Because, like, you
Mhm.
are. You're being such a fucking bitch. Like, you started all of this and you're mad at Sutton for confronting you about it. Like,
Right.
girl, bye. And then trying to say that Crystal is jealous of her, that was even more of a stupid thing to say. What does Crystal have to be jealous of you for, honey? Like, because you went to medical school and she wanted to go to medical school? Like,
How
how?
about she? Right. How does she? What this makes her say? I can't wait to see the scene where she tells them that these ladies aren't being intelligent.
I don't think Crystal said that. I feel like
No,
she's
Annemarie said it.
no, but she's saying that Crystal said that to her. So I don't think Crystal said that. I feel like she's seen what happened with Esophagus Gate, and I feel like she's mad that Crystal was defending Sutton the way she was and
I mean,
calling
Crystal
her
may have
out.
said that though.
You say what?
Crystal, I mean, Crystal, I could see her saying it. I didn't realize that she was blaming it on Crystal, but while I'm sitting up here thinking about it, I could see Crystal saying it.
I
Crystal
mean,
thinks she got it. Oh, Crystal. Oh, let's be very clear. These millennials, you're not even a millennial. Y'all worse. You're Gen Z. But these millennials, they really do think they got it.
yeah, I can see that because Crystal does give kind of snooty and uppity,
Yeah.
but I feel like if Crystal did say that, why are you waiting now? Because she was on your ass
Because it was
about.
convenient. It's convenient. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
absolutely.
that's why I say it gives like now you're just trying to throw it off on you because you're being called out basically for being a liar, and Kyle's not having your back because that's just the typical Kyle thing to do. She throws her friends in there in the lines then and she just lets them defend themselves. Kyle's not defending you. Ericka showed enough not gonna defend you because this is her redemption season. She don't want to be in no drama. And
Cool.
Dorit ain't finna defend you neither. She already done got enough
I
of getting
agree. No, no,
into
no,
it.
no. I actually 100% agree with your assessment that why Anne Marie is doing it, but I don't think she lying. Because now that I'm
Mm,
looking at it again, she said the first thing Crystal told me, I absolutely believe this, is that this group of women are not intelligent.
now I
Absolutely
believe she
believe
said
it.
the I believe she said the shallow part. Now that's believe, but unintelligent. I don't believe she said unintelligent, but I do think she said the shallow part because some of them are kind of shallow. Kyle,
It ain't
Ericka,
no
Dorit,
kind.
them
It ain't no somewhat.
they're definitely shallow. But I do think it does come with a discernment of knowing who she is talking about and who she's not talking about. I don't think she was referring to Garcelle and Sutton at all, but I do think she was talking about the other ones because it's very clear, especially now. She don't like Kyle. She don't really like Ericka like that because
Right.
she didn't hesitate
Right.
when Ericka was going after Denise to talk shit about her in the confessionals. She literally said that Ericka has not changed and she's still the same old nasty. Disgust. She ain't say all that, but that's basically what she was getting at. She's still the same vile, vicious human being that she's always been. She ain't really changed for real.
Right.
And I don't think she really cared for Dorit like that either. Because they ain't just never been. I mean, they have had personal scenes, but like she ain't really. You ain't just never seen Crystal hang around Dorit. Like even when her and Sutton were like beefing and stuff like that, those first two seasons, she still was hanging with Sutton outside of filming. She still was
Who?
hanging with Garcelle outside of filming.
Who?
Crystal. If you go back and look at those first two seasons, season
Uh-huh.
11 and 12, she had conflict with them during the seasons,
Mm-hmm.
but literally outside of filming, she still was hanging with Sutton and Garcelle, going to events with them, going to their houses, doing sponsors and shit together, doing commercials and promos for the show together. She always was with them. You never see her with Ericka, Kyle, or Drew. You never see her with them. She's always either with Garcelle, Sutton, or Kathy. She's never with the rest of those girls. Never. Even like I said, when they were conflicting on the show, she still was never with them outside of filming. I have never seen her just hang with Kyle and Ericka and Dorit now. Never. Since she's been on the show. And this is her third year.
Mm,
So that ought to tell you something. But
wow.
yeah, I definitely enjoyed it though. Like I said, I enjoyed it. And then like I said, I wish Sutton sees that Kyle is not your friend. She over there going over there to Dorit and Marie's fired up. She's pumped up. Just really
Now
having
she
it.
definitely is just using her. And
Yeah,
hands
and it's just
down.
like, girl, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? They really read Annemarie. So what are you saying? She definitely lost that fight. She didn't win.
Right.
From between the both of them, they both tore her up for the sake of who won the argument. It wasn't like they just said some crazy stuff to her, but it's like, girl, she didn't win that. She didn't win that. Suddenly got on her butt and basically made her look dumb. And Crystal and Garcelle jumped in and defended her and still made her look ultimately dumb and proved that she is literally a liar. She
Right.
literally said that I didn't say it. I said it sounded like lying. And Garcelle was like, no, you said she lied twice, and now this is the third lie. So like, girl, get your lies together. Get your story straight. And then, like I said, to say that Crystal is the one that said she had an eating disorder, Garcelle jumped right on in there. No, 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 no.
I definitely believe she lying about that. I mean that there's no
It's on camera.
ambiguity on that. It's
It's
no
on
doubt.
camera. She is the one that brought up eating disorder.
Oh, she sure did. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on camera. Then tried to lie in that conversation, and they literally rewinded the cameras back. It had something to do with an eating disorder. So it's like I can't wait till the reunion get here, baby, for this,
Right.
because she has been shown to basically be proven to be a lie. And then two doctors have already came out and said, "Girl, you don't know what you're talking about."
Oh,
And
okay.
to be honest with you, like I've already said before, if you got to go and ask your actual doctor friends, and you have to go back in your med school books, that means you don't know what you're talking about. You need to shut the hell up. Because a real doctor ain't going to have to do that. They're going to already know.
And I would assume that a nurse anesthetist, which they're really cool. I had when I had a C-section 15 years ago, they're with you the entire time doing surgery. They run lines, they give you the good dope, and you go to sleep and you're expected to stay asleep. And when you wake up, they still at your side to give you some more good dope. But that's it.
Yeah.
That's the that's the that's her expertise. I'm sure it's something. I'm sure it's, of course, other things that you have to know. But I'm like, that's her expertise. I just think it's unfair for her to spend so much time telling somebody what they medically don't have. I think
Right.
it's just not, it's not appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, even if you think somebody is lying, I would never call nobody on. I mean, it's just kind of like, unless it's like a blatant lie, like when Wendy last week, a couple of weeks ago, was trying to convince us that her mama was ill. That's why she was feeling so bad. And then we
Well,
end up
that's not
finding out
necessarily
she
like
had
this. That's
elective
not necessarily
surgery.
the. That's not necessarily like the same thing though.
Of course, it's not the same. I'm just saying,
Like I
it's
would
like,
say a more accurate example was when Brooks was lying about cancer on OC.
oh, Kim did too. When she said the doctor told her
Exactly.
she has cancer, you'd be like, "You got cancer?" Well, no. And then I went back. No, he says, "I'm pretty sure." She claims that the doctor said he's pretty sure she has cancer. And it ain't like, who says that?
Hey, my Callie.
Hi, Callie.
Hi, y'all.
Hey,
How
you
did you
want to
feel about
jump
this
in? Because we
episode,
almost
girl?
finished.
No, that's okay. I
No.
just wanted to comment. We just logged on, started listening. But listen, let me tell you what Jordan heard. What'd you say,
What?
Jordan? Jordan said, "Don't be trying to disrespect Gen X." Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
Gen Z.
she
Gen Z.
Gen Z. Y'all are weirdos. I'm like, you're weirdos.
He said, "No, they are not.
Y'all
No,
see
we
the
are not."
world through a lens sometimes that don't make sense to me.
We're just more
Okay.
woke than y'all are. Y'all are stuck in
I
those
I
old
think I
ways.
am dead. I mean, not
Mm-mm.
dead woke. I think I am very much so on a woke end. It's
Mm-hmm.
certain things I think is stupid,
Mm-mm.
but I'm, as far as being inclusive, as far as being um careful with words, as
Mm-hmm.
far as being,
Are you listening?
understanding what's a for the, I ain't gonna say appropriate to say, that's a whole lie, but more so, I understand that once I know something, once I know better, I'll do better.
Yeah.
So I'm open. So I may have an opinion about something, and somebody say, "Oh, that's give me a phobia, homophobic," and I'd be like, "Well, how? How is that homophobic?" Because somebody explained X, Y, and Z, and I'll be like, "Okay, I may not agree with it at the time. I may have to sit on it or sleep on it, but I'm like, okay." Because
Okay.
it's certain things you just got to get used to. It's the way of the world. So
Yeah.
I think I am woke. I almost have to be in some things. I work with current teenagers, so it's just certain things I just have to get with, regardless of how I may feel about it or not. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I
Mm-hmm.
always, even as a kid, took the attitude of it ain't my business. I don't think anybody should have a right to tell somebody what they should be able to do in their bedroom. It
Right.
ain't my business. That has always been my thing. It ain't my business. It ain't my issue. It's not my. It's just not my business.
That was it.
That's just
Callie, what did you think about the big fight at the end? I know you don't really care for something like that. How did you feel about her coming straight in hot like that? And
Look.
Crystal and Garcelle kind of tag teaming, triple teaming, I guess you want to say, Annemarie.
Well, I got to be honest. I didn't watch it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
But now that I now that I know that there was a big fight, I will watch
Mhm.
it. But no, I didn't watch it.
It was at a homeless but toothless event at that.
Wait a minute, they went back to the homeless and the toothless?
Yeah, that it was their annual ball or
It's
something.
the annual. Did they actually have people there to show the toothless?
No,
They
No.
didn't.
and if they did,
Before and
we didn't.
afters.
And if we did, we didn't see it, child, because they was fighting the whole time. I'm talking about the girl, Callie. The people was looking over at them like,
Yeah.
what is
See?
going on? Like
Because I don't
literally, the
think
cameras was panning around everywhere, and
they was
everybody was
fighting like
like,
that. And who was tag teaming who?
It was Sutton, Garcelle, and Crystal. Mainly Sutton and Crystal, but Garcelle was kind of chiming in a little bit.
See,
But it was mainly Sutton
Sutton
and
and Crystal.
Crystal.
Oh, because you remember after that leather pants one, I need to log in and watch that real quick. Because the leather panther or Crystal checked her without saying much at all. Sutton was so up in arms, so I can only imagine that Sutton was trying to go in this time, or was she not? Who was winning?
They both, even though Kyle tried to make it seem like to Dorit and Marie was
Honey.
Yeah.
furious and doing the most. Girl, Crystal and Sutton tore her up,
Okay.
baby.
Crystal and Sutton tore her up.
Yes, it was like a tag team. It's like they both was boom, 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 boom. She didn't know which way to look. She couldn't get her lives together. And
Well,
the
I'll definitely
craziest
watch
part to
that.
me was, like me and Joy said, the craziest part to me was her saying that Crystal was the one that said Sutton had an eating disorder. That was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait a minute, or
girl,
in real time when she was just like, you just said she had an eating disorder. No, I did not. Girl, yes, you
yes,
did.
you did.
See, I'm gonna have to watch that. I'm gonna have to come back and follow up on y'all review with my review. Okay.
It's like, what? That's why Crystal, when she said that Crystal was like,
Oh,
what?
shit.
All I kept
That's more
thinking is,
gas in
what
here. Like
kind
I'm
of
about to burn this
receipts?
place up.
What kind
All
of
right, so I'm gonna
receipts?
hang up just so I won't be double talking.
Go ahead.
No, you fine.
What
I
was
won't
she?
hang up, but I'm gonna just hit the mute button.
What kind of receipts y'all think Sutton gonna bring to reunion?
What do you mean receipts?
She got to bring some. I wonder if
She
she
ain't got
gonna.
no receipts.
I mean, the only thing I would say that she can't. I mean, to be honest, she doesn't really need any receipts because Dr. Nicole and Tiffany already then clarified her. So, to me, honestly, she don't really have to bring no receipts because two literal, actual anesthesiologists already then said that Sutton not lying. So it really don't even. And then she let Kyle talk to her sister-in-law, who that goes with her brother. You know, she said her brother has had the same thing and actually has had the surgeries.
Oh, she sure did. You're
Yeah,
right.
so it's like she don't really need to bring no proof to
You're right.
Annemarie lied, and it's just that.
You're
And
right.
she need to leave it alone. Like I said, she's gonna die on that hill, trying to make it seem like she is right when she is not. You're not right. Like, let it go. You're not right in this situation. Period. And I hope Andy does bring up what Dr. Nicole and Tiffany said. I hope he says that. And their reunion is next week, by the way, next Friday to be exact.
They're filming it next Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
And like I said, I live for Dr. Nicole gathering her on there talking about some Nicole was clout chasing. How was Nicole clout chasing and she's the bigger housewife?
What franchise is she? OC?
Miami.
Oh, mine. Okay.
Yeah, it's like how is Nicole?
How is she the bigger housewife?
Because
Oh, over
if we was to do a
Beverly.
poll with Annemarie, like if we was to go in the groups and do a poll with Annemarie versus Dr. Nicole would win. Period. Dr. Nicole is the better housewife all around. Like she's, if we talking money wise, if we talking education wise, like all of that. Like she said on Watch What Happens Live, like girl, when you're clout chasing, that means you're trying to clout chase off of a bigger fish. You're not professional wise. You're not a bigger fish. You're not money wise, not education wise. Like Dr. Nicole is what you were claiming to be. She's an actual.
She is an anesthesiologist,
Yes,
not a
she
nurse.
is an
I got
anesthesiologist. She is a
yeah.
board certified anesthesiologist. She is wealthy.
Are they doctors though?
Yes,
Okay.
they are.
The reason that
Anesthesiologists are
I
paid.
asked is I have a coworker whose son is an anesthesiologist.
Yes,
He works with John
anesthesiologists
Hopkins too, by the way.
more paid than the actual surgeons.
Oh, I know they're the highest paid job in the United States.
Yeah,
There are some plastic surgeons, of course, that get paid way more. But as far as salary, they're the highest paid job in the United States. If you Google the top 10 or top 5, maybe one poll, one may say something else, but they're going to be 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, so it's just like Like I said, all of that while like Dr. Nicole got money. Like even if she wasn't an anesthesiologist and her husband is wealthy, they have several mansions paid for if they're not renting, honey.
Uh,
Baby, he flew
are
them
they
on a.
fabulous? So they live.
They
See,
are
I'm
like
really
when
watching.
I say
Okay.
when I say fab, honey, they are fab. Her husband, they went on a double date because Julia has a wife. She doesn't have a husband, which is
Okay.
her fellow castmate. Baby, he flew them on a helicopter to go to dinner and have a double date. They got yachts that they own, not
Own their
renting.
own planes and
Yeah,
stuff.
they're like so. Dr. Nicole is fabulous, honey,
Yeah,
all the way
I
around.
miss that. That's what Potomac lacks. That's why I was
Yeah.
really hoping a NECA
Yeah,
would
that's
bring
why I feel like
something
you
to
would like
Potomac.
Miami because it is diverse.
Yeah.
They don't let their drama get too deep. They always know how to even if they like have a big fight and they just say the most terriblest things to each other, which they do. They always still know how to bring it back in and
Back on.
laugh, like
I
even
heard I've
after.
been on Twitter and people, and I don't know if that was Twitter or Instagram. People say it's kind of jacked up that the lowest rated housewife is the best. And
Yeah,
they always talk about Miami. And they're
yes.
talking about
That's
this
why
year
I hate
particularly.
they brung it to Bravo because now they study. They're gonna put the live ratings, the live, even though we all know that the live ratings don't even matter.
Right.
Because they were doing just fine on Peacock. They were like one of the top shows on there. So, but like I said, even though we all know that the live ratings don't matter, it's all about the week's end ratings, which I think Miami is doing just fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, even Potomac is doing just fine. So it
Yeah, I
really don't
know.
even.
Look, I already knew that because
Yeah, so
over a
yeah.
million people
Miami is
watch Peacock.
definitely.
Peacock is so much cheaper now to buy, especially if you get them specials around Black Friday. I think
Mm-hmm.
this year was $1.99. Last year was $1 for a whole year, $1 a month. So you can't beat that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think like I said, Miami is definitely top tiers. That's why I'm like, girl,
I tried.
How is she cloud chasing off you, baby? We don't care about you. We actually like Dr. Nicole. She is a fan favorite. So, girl, can we say that about you? No, we can't.
Is she a working anesthesiologist?
Yeah, she actively works. Like they show her at the hospital. Like she
Uh,
doesn't film with the girls sometimes because she be in surgery.
okay.
Yes.
Okay. We'll go. Okay. I ain't
Mhm.
mad. I ain't mad. I don't know why I would think that it's not a, why would a doctor want to do this when we watch Married to Medicine? That's all
Yeah.
it's on.
And like I said, Dr. Tiffany was the same way. She was a working anesthesiologist
Yeah.
and actively filming on that. And Dr. Tiffany was fabulous too, honey. Her house, oh my God, that closet,
Mm.
her closet alone.
Are we
Dr.
finished
Tiffany was
with Beverly
fabulous.
Hills though?
Yeah, because that was really it. They read her at the end, and that was kind of dead. Oh, the Spain tribute. Preview of
Yeah.
Annemarie doing the absolute most, seeking for a moment again,
Yeah.
baby. And it's just like, girl, now you're trying to start with Crystal. And I really, and it's just like, again, I want to see what's gonna happen on the trip, because the way Ericka put it, she made it seem like Annemarie just laid into Crystal. But from what I'm seeing, where?
I mean, we ain't watched it. They just show us a
But they
little
even
bit.
did. They even showed and I'll have to send it to you. They even showed a TV promotion in Crystal, where we actually was seeing what Crystal was saying back, and she really was kind of like gagging her in that promo. So I'm still trying to figure out where did she lay into Crystal. So I guess we'll just have to really see the full to see, and I hope they don't do that bull crap where they cut it off at the end when the argument just gets to going. That's gonna make
They
me so
said, I
mad.
don't know if we talked about this on Potomac when we did Potomac, but in previews, that argument with Candace and Ashley, when she was just like, walk your ass away from me, or
Yeah.
turn around so I can see you walk away or something.
Yep.
And they said they showed it in the previews. Somebody did a whole blog about it. They cut it. They
Her saying
showed it in the
slave or something like
previews.
that.
Yeah, she was just like, "You don't own me," or something like that. They're not my something. It was either a slave reference or something. They didn't air that on the episode, but they showed it in the preview. There's a blogger, if I come across it, I'll send it to you all, that showed what they showed in the preview,
Trailer.
the trailer,
Yeah.
correct, and what they showed on TV. And Potomac is known for doing it because
But
they've
they do that
done it.
all around though. If you notice, they do that like all
So
around because they even left out some of the argument between Annemarie and Crystal. Because if you go back and look at the previews, Annemarie said some other things to Crystal, but we didn't see that. Like she told Crystal, she was like, "How about you stay out of it? It doesn't have anything to do with you." Like she was
Oh,
looking for a
okay.
moment. Like she said
Mhm.
those things, but we didn't see it. We kind of just think them kind of like, even if they would have left it in there, it still wouldn't have changed the argument.
but
Right.
the blogger you're talking about, she played the preview that showed it and then played the scene that didn't.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, because that's how I found out about it. Somebody had mentioned it and posted. I was like, "Oh, I do remember that." Because I had forgotten about it, but I do remember it in the trailer.
Okay. Because I don't remember that in the trailer.
Oh, I do. That it
But you know
stood
what
out,
though? I
but I
also didn't
forgot.
watch that stuff as much this year because of Candace and Giselle. As far as the preview, I knew what was coming, but their relationship was just kind of giving me a headache. Because it's like she wouldn't give in,
Who?
Giselle. They just wouldn't be willing to make amends. And all I would ever hear talking about it is Candace, but Giselle kind of like just kind of closed off. So I didn't want to see it, the drama, even when they weren't talking about it, because they weren't talking, it was still drama in it because one was talking and one wasn't. And it was stressing me the heck out. Okay.
I don't think Giselle, particularly. Let's just stick with Giselle. I don't think she wants to
All right, I'm
argue.
here. I went out.
I think
You said you don't
Giselle.
think Giselle particularly what?
I don't think she wants to argue with
Are you
Candace.
there?
Yeah, we are.
Alicia?
We there. You can't. Oh, she'll come back in. I don't think Giselle wants to argue with Candace. Some people can say, well, Candace, Giselle don't want to get ate up by Candace. I mean, you can say whatever you want. We may see it as good TV or reading. I
I'm
think
actually
Joy,
glad.
I
I'm
lost
actually
you, Joy.
glad. I'm glad Giselle is shutting up, honey, because don't nobody want to see her in an argument. No ways for her to just lose every time. So it's just good she ain't saying that.
I just think that kind of stuff is
But I mean, that's not even just Candace. That's anybody. Giselle doesn't like. She starts stuff, and then when they come at her, it's just like she just be looking or be pretending to be unbothered. But I know that anybody, you can say what you want to say. I don't give a damn how
She's always been well unbothered. Well, I mean, never gonna say
unbothered
something
you
I
want to
liked
be.
about
Like when
her.
somebody is talking stuff to you, like that type of stuff, it might not just bother you to the core, but it's like a little irritating. It does like be like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like regardless of the fact, like it's just like nobody wants to see that. Like if that's how you're gonna be, just shut up. If you're not gonna even attempt to fight, just be quiet. Don't start nothing.
but I'm like, she hasn't. I
For the
mean,
first
just
time,
and that's
I'm saying
not.
it in
I
general
don't want her to shut up. I
consensus.
want them
But
to work
I
something
think
out for once.
I want them to. I think that if Candace could have a conversation without getting overly emotional and start all that yelling and screaming and disrespectful mouth, I think they could. Giselle, I think, would even apologize to her. But I don't know if Candace
I don't
is
know if that
able.
was a real apology, Joy.
Who
It wasn't.
I said she would apologize to her. Again, regardless of how you feel, you can't dictate somebody's whatever. I think she did apologize, particularly to Chris, because she didn't just say I apologize. She actually verbally said out loud. Because to me, when you really apologize, you not only are accountable for what you did, you should be able to repeat it, because that shows either you're embarrassed, you're ashamed, you feel bad. That's something. And she actually said
Did this happen on the show, or are you talking about off the
at
show?
reunion when Andy asked her
Well,
something
we
about,
on a new season, Joy.
I'm all I can do is tell you what happened when they were talking about an apology, where she actually verbally said, when I look back and made that comment when we were watching, and I had made the sneaky link comment, I realized I shouldn't have said it. I mean, to
I
me,
just feel like
that's, wait a minute, that is acknowledging what you did. You're very clear about something that you specifically said, and she said what she said, and she
but I
apologized.
feel like
And Chris said he accepted her apology,
but I
but
feel
Candace
like
said, "Well, I don't."
if she
That's
doesn't
your
have
business.
to. She does not. She is
She
not
don't,
obligated to.
but
But
I'm
this is
not
my thing.
obligated
She
to talk
did
to
do
you
all of
after.
that and apologized, and then she literally came back this season saying the same thing that he
She did
lured
not
her
say the
into.
same
She
thing.
definitely said
Joy,
she
Y'all
lured.
are
I get the
arguing
feeling that
over
she did though.
semantics
You said
of who
what,
made
Callie?
me go
I'm
into
with
a
you, G.
room.
She came back the same season, still steady on the same tip. He lured me into a
She did
room.
not say
She
that.
absolutely said that, baby.
She did
Yes, she
not.
did,
She
Joy.
said he
Yes, she
made me
did
go
in the
into a room. Y'all tripping off the word made. Lord, just to show you how this is confusing. Candace is the one that said Lord to Giselle. She said, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. That was the conversation that they
So
had
because
answered.
Candace said
Lord was
Lord and her
Candace's
saying
role.
he made her, it's kind of all in the same.
It's not.
It is basically saying
It
that he
is.
made her go into the wrong.
You just
That's what
because
she
you
said.
interpret it that way don't mean that it's
Well,
true.
baby, she needs to choose her words wisely then,
Yeah,
because
Okay,
because
that's
she
it's
I
the
just
same.
it's like the same thing. Literally, it's the same thing. Basically, and basically saying like he forced you to go in the room when he didn't.
forced and made is the because I think it's a poor choice of words too. But
Made, formed,
she made
lured,
me go
those
over there
are
and sit down. That
the same thing.
made also could be an axe. Made could also, it's
Not in
not
this
a
situation.
forced situation.
No,
I
we
can
know
tell
what
my
Giselle
students to
meant.
go in there and sit down or
We
to
know
be
what Giselle
quiet.
meant. You can make all the excuses for her in the world. We
Okay.
In
know what she meant.
this situation,
She meant what she said.
Okay, whatever.
in this situation, it's not like there's another way for that word, no matter how you use it, to have been explained. You're saying that he made you do something that he didn't make you do. You're saying as if you don't, you're acting like you don't have.
But I hear you. But her accusation is, or the so-called accusation is still the same. It's to go in a room.
And
She's made it. Wait a minute,
that's basically
Demisio.
like
Wait a minute.
coercion, which is
She
still
made
a
it
form
clear,
of
Demisio.
sexual assault or
She
harassment.
made it clear that he didn't say anything or do anything. You
But
gotta
all of that
say
goes
something
out of the
or
window
do
when you're
something
still
for it
making
to be
those same
sexually assault.
accusations. So when you
Wait a
say
minute.
that, it doesn't matter
Demisio.
what
Let
you
me
said in
stop.
the past. It doesn't
Demisio.
matter.
Stop.
It does not matter.
Demisio. Stop.
It doesn't matter, Joy Honey. It
If y'all, I
doesn't.
mean, if I
I'm
can't
coming.
talk, then we can end this live.
You can talk,
But
Joy.
Joy, you study trying to make the same points, and it still doesn't matter. She still said the things. It doesn't matter what you are trying to make
But
excuses for her to do. She still said it. She still said it.
Can I? You finish?
go for it, Joy.
She also said and made on more than one occasion, at least 3, he didn't say or
See,
do anything inappropriate
See
to
what I'm
me.
saying, Callie?
You could be a poor choice of words all day long. Sexual
And
assault.
those poor choices
Again,
of words
Demetrio, I
matter.
let you talk.
Okay, let's let her finish, D.
Sexual assault. You either have to, well, really, you have to do something for it to be sexual assault. But she also said that he didn't say anything inappropriate to her.
But
Is she using poor choices of words? We can talk about that. I would even agree with you. But if somebody makes clear that he didn't say or do anything inappropriate, you have to leave that at that. Is she using a poor choice of words? Yes. But that doesn't mean that she's insinuating sexual assault. When she said he didn't do anything, you got to do something. Assault requires you to do something or say something.
She accused him by saying he made me come into the room. Now, I get what you're saying,
it's
but that's not.
still sexual harassment and coercion is still under the umbrella of sexual harassment, honey. And that's basically what she's saying that he did. So yes, she did say all of that, but she's still following up, literally following up
We've been
after
on this
saying
for
all
an
of those
hour.
things.
I'm finna get off this live. All right, y'all. Let's piece it out.
Okie dokie.
Peace out, y'all.
All right.
Bye. Hmm.